And welcome back to the 2014 Easton JOAD Nationals here at Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio. My name is Chris Allen. I am joined by five-time Olympian Bush Johnson. We are getting ready to start the 1/8 round of the recurve Cub women. That is age 12 to 14. We'll have a matchup of Savannah Ward versus Alexa Claps coming up. This is, again, the 1/8 round. And Butch, if you just want to, for anybody who's just now joining the broadcast, kind of go over how the recurve competition works.
Well, it's fairly simple to figure out. You shoot 3 arrow ends, and every 3 arrows you total up the score. The one with the high score gets what they call 2 set points. First one to 6 wins. If there's a tie, it's split, and if it ends up being at a 5-5, then they do a 1 arrow shoot off closest to the middle.
Okay, so that's what we'll be looking for in this matchup. Again, it'll be Savannah Ward versus Alexa Claps, and it looks like we have our first southpaw on our lane today. So that'll be something different for us to watch. Yeah, Alexa shooting lefty. We haven't seen that yet on our lanes doing the recurve today. So these targets are 50 meters away. Again, this is the 12 to 14 age group.
This is a practice end, so they're just warming up. Alexa has a very good group.
Yeah, explain to the viewers what a group is.
Basically, group, just the arrows tight together. Right now, hers is a little high right, but it's a very good tight group.
And the tighter the group, the better.
Yeah, especially if it's in the middle.
Right. Shows consistency.
Yep. And for her now, it's just a matter of moving her sight a little bit, getting herself into the middle.
Okay, perfect. And so the archers have gone through their second practice end, and momentarily will head to retrieve their arrows. Looks like they're both getting a little bit of last-minute coaching, maybe adjusting, talking to their group they're with, and they're now going to approach the target to retrieve the arrows. The next round here will start the 1/8 round for the recurve, the Cub competition for the women. Scoring will start, and as Butch said, they'll be vying for 2 points for each end till a total of 6 is achieved.
A match can be over in as little as 3 arrows or as much as 16. I mean, as little as 9 arrows. Apologize.
9 arrows, 3 ends, right?
Yeah.
3 ends or 5 ends plus 1 should it go to the shoot off. So, and it looks like
just checking electronics, making sure their name's in it.
Okay, so we're moving towards the first end of official scoring here. As soon as these competitors all get back to the line, they give us the go. Butch, while we're waiting, why don't you explain a little bit about the difference between the compound, which more viewers may be familiar with, and the recurve, which we're watching here?
Well, the compound, it's a mechanical advantage. It shoots a faster arrow. You're typically holding anywhere from, I'll say, about 35% to 20% of the holding weight. So if you're drawing back 50 pounds, you might be holding as little as 10 pounds at full draw. So it's much easier to sit back there, where a recurve, you're holding whatever you pull back. If you're pulling 40, you're holding 40. So it shoots a slower arrow. It's a very challenging. You don't shoot with a recurve. You shoot with a finger tab. You're holding the string with your fingers and releasing it. Where with a compound, they're using mechanical release aids, so you don't get any bad releases per se. It's a mechanical advantage there too.
And so with that being mechanical, why is the recurve target further than the compound, further away from the archers?
That's a very good question. It used to be the same distance. The International Archery Association made a change about 3, 4, 5 years ago. I don't remember exactly. And somebody had this idea. I don't know, just to be different, I guess. You know,
so
maybe it's easier for fans to see or spectators because it's closer.
They're further away, but the target's a little bit bigger.
Correct.
Okay. To help make up for it. So,
but if you were shooting typically a compound against a recurve, compound's going to win every time. You know,
precision-wise.
Precision-wise,
okay.
Correct. I mean, depending upon the ability, of course, but
sure,
two good archers, the compound always has the big advantage.
So the competitors are back to the line. We're waiting for the rest of them to join before we start the first end of competition here. These scores will count from here on out. And we do have Savannah Ward in the gray shirt, the righty, versus Alexa Claps wearing the red shirt, and she is a southpaw. And Alexa seems to have her coach there a little more interactive. I've yet to see a coach for Savannah, though I'm sure there is one over there somewhere. So the wind seems to have died down a lot since our last match.
Yeah, it should make for higher scores, easier time for the archers to shoot.
Of course, with the weather we've had in the area today, the winds could pick back up at any moment.
Absolutely.
But for a little while now, they seem to have been calm. So the first scoring end is coming up. And here's the whistle as we see Alexa Claps approaching the line in the red. Pull her first arrow.
So Savannah opens with a 10, and Alexa opens with a 10.
So as we talked about, the wind died down, should make for good shooting conditions, and both the shooters.
And another 10 for Savannah. And a 7 for Alexa.
Okay, so that second one got away from her a little.
Looked like a little bit of a weak shot, probably nerves. And a 9 for Savannah. So
Savannah
she will take this set.
Very strong end for Savannah.
And an 8 to finish out the set for Alexa.
Okay, so Savannah will collect the 2 points from the first end to go up 2-0 in that race to 6. Now we just need to wait for them to give the competitors the go-ahead to get to the target to confirm the scoring. Savannah came with a very strong round, 2 10s and a 9. Almost had a perfect opening there. And it seems like Alexa started off good with the 10, and the nerves may have gotten the best of her. The wind stayed calm that entire end, so that didn't affect either player, either shot.
So it looks like Alexa's talking to her coach, who's Jeff Anderson, who is a very accomplished archer. He's been around for a number of years. So hopefully calm her down a little and get her back on track.
Absolutely, and they give the go-ahead, so the archers will approach the targets. Our judge for this lane is Mike Cullenberg. He's been with us all day, so he'll verify the scores and should Should any of the scores need to be contested, he'll be the one to make the final decision. So the ladies are up there pulling their arrows. Again, Savannah with 29.
Remember, archers, the flip charts underneath your targets need to be set to the score. Your score needs to be entered on the handhelds and on your scorecards.
Okay, so Alexa added the 0. So Savannah is indeed going to grab the 2 points from the first end to take a 2-0 lead heading to the second end. And as the Archers head back to the line for the second end, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back to you from the 2014 Easton JOAD Nationals in Hamilton, Ohio. And welcome back to the 2014 Easton JOAD Nationals here at Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio. I am Chris Allen, joined by 5-time Olympian Butch Johnson. We are in the heading towards the second end of the recurve Cub women in the 1/8 round. So the competitors just got back to the line. We're waiting for the go from the judge. So, Butch, these competitors in the Cub division are approximately age 12 to 14. In your opinion, what is a good age to start for anybody who's out there listening to our broadcast who might be thinking about getting their child involved in archery?
It's hard to say. It depends if you have a parent that knows how to shoot. I do work in a pro shop. We don't usually start kids till they're 8 years old. A lot of times prior to that, they don't seem to have the concentration, and it is a weapon, so it can be a little dangerous.
Sure. And so how, I mean, I'm assuming it's different for everybody, but if they start at 8, by the time they get to 12 and they're in these big competitions like the Easton JOAD National, I mean, how wide of a variety do you see a skill set?
Oh, it can be extreme. I mean, like a lot of times kids, some of them really are very, very serious about it, where others are more of a casual archer to have fun. They might get serious later in life. They may never, so the kids that put more work in typically going to shoot better. And you can run into a younger kid in these divisions where they choose to shoot up to a higher division. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen.
Right, and we should point out the age ranges we're given. That's the maximum. Of course, right. You can move up.
You could be an 11-year-old in that division today.
Sure, and like for the juniors, the junior men go up to 20, and our finalist, our silver medalist for the seniors earlier, was 19 years old. He could technically be
correct
in this.
He wants to go to the Olympics, and he wants to get used to competing against the people he's going to have to try to make the team.
Absolutely.
And apparently he's doing a very good job of it.
He did very well today. So we're getting set here for the second end, waiting for the whistle as soon as they clear the field. Savannah Ward does have a 2-0 lead over Alexa Claps after one end. So we'll see if Alexa can bounce back here. So I'm assuming in the senior competition earlier we had a lot of international feel. Our women's final was two competitors from outside the United States. Do you see that as much for the JOAD competitions?
Yeah, there is definitely some other countries here. You know, depends. Usually it's the closer countries like Mexico or Canada or something like that. You know.
Okay. And there's the whistle for the second round. As you see Alexa Claps approach the line, they have been given the go-ahead. So Alexa will be trying to even the score at 2 here with Savannah Ward.
Looks like Savannah's getting ready to shoot first.
As she did in the first end, Savannah ready to go early.
Shoots a 7 on her first arrow. And Alexa shoots a 10. So,
okay, so
looks
Alexa
like they trying to tie it up and come back.
Yeah, she comes out of the gate hot.
And a 9 for Savannah. And 8s for Savannah.
So Alexa decides to let Savannah go ahead and shoot her second and third before she releases her second.
And she shoots a 9. So Savannah has a 24. Alexis has 19 so far. So a 5 will tie, a 6 will win the match.
So barring anything unusual, as Alexa decides to take her time and pause for a moment.
Now there is a time limit, 2 minutes, so they can't mess around too much.
She releases.
She shoots, it's either a 6 or a 7 right on the line.
Okay, so we might need to use Judge Mike Cullenber for that, but as Butch previously said, she only needed a 5 to tie, so 6 or 7 should allow Alexa Claps to tie the matchup.
Looking closer, I believe it's a 6 just out, but we'll have to get the judge's official call.
Okay, so Alexa immediately goes back to her coach, and there is the signal that will allow the archers to move towards the target so we can get the official scoring.
And that was probably just some nerves. You know, it happens, especially younger kids. They don't have as much experience, but it happens to older people too.
So as we wait for the archers to go ahead and give us the official scores, you can see the arrows there. Doesn't look like either group was too tight this time. Looked like one was spread out vertically and one more horizontally.
Yeah.
So when that happens, what's going on with the archer when you see him not grouped very well?
Well, the horizontal one is probably just a bad release or a bad bow arm. Just didn't fall through well. The vertical one, she has 2 arrows that are pretty good, just a high one, which is probably nerves, just a bad shot.
Thanks again to American Whitetail, the Lancaster Archery Supply, Alexa.
Okay, so we'll wait. And Alexa did already go ahead and put up her 2 points to make it official. So after 2 ends, Alexa Claps has come back to tie it up against Savannah Ward. So we will have at least 4 ends, if not all 5. As the competitors head back towards the line and wait for the whistle to start the 3rd end.
Both looking very serious and focused.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of interaction between these competitors as we saw from the senior women earlier in the day, this morning and early afternoon. The women there seem to interact a lot. As to where here our first match between Noah and Sean, the 2 gentlemen, they did interact a lot and conversed. As to where these girls seem to not be conversing with each other and waiting. Alexa drawing off the experience and advice from her coach when she gets back, and Savannah kind of standing by herself, collecting her thoughts, mentally preparing herself for the next end.
Looks like Savannah is over to talk to her coach or mother or somebody over there.
Yeah, she seems to have a group with her as opposed to maybe a single coach.
Yep.
But support systems can be just as important.
Yep, absolutely. Whatever it takes to calm you down.
So we'll wait here as the rest of the field returns to the line.
Gets a little slow here with the younger kids still on the field. They just do things a lot slower.
Absolutely. We're all more patient. So if you're at home watching the broadcast, and that's what's going on as we wait for the competitors to come across the line, so they can give the go ahead as we're making sure everybody is safe. So Butch, what are some of the obstacles as we wait that a young archer overcomes or has to overcome, not just to become skilled, but also to compete at a bigger tournament such as this, where there's 600 juniors out here? What's some of the obstacles you have to overcome to be okay and to be able to actually compete, not just show up?
Well, I mean, probably the biggest one is just getting confidence and being able to handle your nerves. I've seen some very good shooters that never really handled the pressure very well. And it's one of the things you don't know till you get in that situation. They shoot great in practice, getting under pressure, they just can't handle it. Sometimes, more experience with that, they get used to it, but occasionally they don't.
Okay, it looks like most of the judges are heading back, so we should be ready.
Still a couple down there at the far targets.
So coming off getting those 2 points, so we saw Savannah Ward got the 2 points from the first end. There was a little bit of some time between the first and second end. Seemed to allow Alexa to calm down and regather herself, and she came back, got 2 points. So now we come back from that, it's even. It'll be interesting to see what this 2 to 3, 4 minute break does for their confidence, and if this allows Savannah to recapture what she did in that first end.
I mean, Alexa could feel a lot better because she came back, but it's just they're even, so they still both under a lot of pressure.
And we did get to go ahead for the third end. So as Alexa Claps and Savannah Ward approach, Savannah has been the one to shoot first both times. You see her pull back.
Savannah opens with an 8, just low. And Alexa opens with a 10.
Okay, so Alexa continuing what she started in that second end.
Savannah shoots a 9. A little bit low again.
And Alexa's going to take a break and let Savannah shoot her third.
And she shoots another 9. All 3 arrows are low.
So Alexa gets ready with her second arrow.
And she shoots a 9 to the right. So she's in control. She's going to make a good shot here. A lot of times when they set down like that, it's a little bit of nerves. They're trying to be too careful, which can actually goof you up a little bit.
And Alexa is taking her time. This is what she did in the second end as well. Seems to be a pattern she's putting herself into.
12 arrows to go. Nope, 6 arrows to go. That's my bad.
And she shoots a 9 to take the set.
Okay, so Alexa Claps has seemed to have found a pace that works well for her the last two ends, taking her time and allowing Savannah Ward to finish first. And it does appear that, and we'll find out as they approach the targets here, but it does appear that Alexa Claps will take a 4-2 lead heading to the fourth end. And you have to think that maybe that's something her coach suggested that Alexa do, that she calm down and maybe take her time to allow her to settle a little bit more.
I think part of it is just nerves on her part. Taking her time's good, but she's setting down, which is typically it's just afraid to commit to the shot. But, you know, as you see, it worked out fine for her. A lot of times, too, when you're running low on time towards the end, it helps people make a quicker shot and a stronger shot.
Adds a little urgency to the shot.
They can't be too careful, because that's what really goofs a lot of people up. They just they're trying to be too perfect, too careful, and they shoot worse than if they just get up there and just shoot the arrow.
Okay, so the competitors are tallying their scores. And Alexa is indeed adding the 2 points to her score. So Alexa Claps will take a 4-2 lead over Savannah Ward after 3 ends. And so we'll get ready for the fourth end as the competitors head back to the line.
I don't know, team competitions in archery are always very exciting. If it gets to happen, it's a good experience for the kids. So it definitely would be possible out here. A lot of people say team competitions are their favorite part of it.
And again, the competitors looking very serious on their walk back to the line. There's been absolutely no interaction between the competitors since the ends have started.
Looks like Savannah's getting a little coaching now.
Okay, yeah, she does seem to have somebody who's shown up for her. Maybe that'll help calm her and get her ready for this fourth end to try to tie it up and force the fifth end.
Alexa just had a big smile, so maybe she's feeling a little more comfortable.
It'll be interesting to see if she continues the pattern that she's done the last 2 ends, to where she pulls the first one, then relaxes on the second and third time-wise, to where she doesn't rush, and Savannah actually finishes all 3 when Alexa hasn't shot her second yet.
And even the Olympics, like the U.S. historically does perform very well in team competitions, and I think a lot of that is because we do practice it and because there is so much excitement.
And Alexa again getting a lot of instruction from her coach.
Yeah, he's been in this situation many times, so he knows how to deal with it.
More fun still to come. Next scoring end. Quite a match going on. Target 42 there, 80-79 in the recurve, 86-84 on target 41. Close there as well.
So it looks like Savannah's coach might be calming her down some. Alexa's decided to go ahead and sit down while we wait for the other competitors to come back to the line. But how much practice time would you say these competitors in this age group put in a week?
It can be all over the place. You know, some might shoot every day a little bit. Some might shoot hours. It's really, there's no common denominator here. Just how much drive a particular child has.
So we know the recurve, the competitors who are in recurve, most of them, the ones who are really serious, their goal is to be where you've been and get to the Olympics and achieve that. On our other channel, we have the compound. What is their ultimate peak if they can't get to the Olympics?
Now it's probably the World Championship. There's a lot of different, there's a lot of money shoots for compound indoors also. But yeah, the World Championship's probably their biggest event.
Attention archers. Judges have asked me to tell any archer who is practicing and not involved in an active match, you are no longer allowed to shoot. If you are practicing, you are no longer allowed to practice. If you are not in an active match, archers do not step to the line to shoot. Only active matches are allowed on the
Okay,
field.
so we should be about ready to go here in this fourth end, where Alexa Klops will try to finish off the match against Savannah Ward. She needs 2 points. She can get that by winning the end, of course.
Now the compounders can continue, but the recur practice people are not allowed to practice anymore. You get 5 rounds for compound, so you can continue to practice if you're a compounder.
So just taking care of some house cleaning duties here at the field,
And we're good
as the competitors are now approaching the line for the fourth end.
another end that begins.
So there's Alexa Klops with the opportunity to end the match.
Savannah's up again quickly. And she shoots a perfect 10 right in the middle. And a 9 for Alexa. Quick shot for both of them. Savannah shoots an 8 low.
So this is where Alexa has really slowed down the last 2 ends.
Once again, she lets down. Savannah shoots another 10. So
Okay,
Alexa
so-
to win this time, she's got her work cut out for her.
So maybe the coach did make a difference for Savannah.
Absolutely. And she has a 9 just out of the 10. So she needs a 10 to tie this set.
Alexa again, let's go. This is the pattern she followed the previous 2 ends, so she is continuing this.
But it looks like no matter what, we're going to one more set. She shoots a 7.
So
Savannah wins this set and tie the match.
Savannah will win the set. And so we mentioned Savannah's coach showed up after or before that end, and it maybe made a big difference for her. She shot 2 10s, and very similar to what she did in the first end when she got her first 2 points, shooting 2 10s. Shot a 29 that end and a 28 this past end.
Calmed her down a little, gave her some focus.
So we are tied 4-4. We'll head to the final end here. If either competitor wins, they will move on, and if they split, we will head to the much anticipated 1 arrow shoot off. So just waiting to make it official. Judge Mike Cullenber has checked in and he is satisfied. And there's Savannah officially adding the 2 points. So as Butch said, we are tied 4-4. We're going to the 5th and final end. It'll determine our winner, or if we need to go to a shoot-off. A little bit more of a smile on Savannah.
Yep. Do or die that in, and she did when she had to.
She did. So this will come down. It's been a back and forth battle, with Savannah taking the 1st and 4th ends and Alexa getting the 2 in the middle. So Savannah back there, coming back to her coach, trying to get advice for this 5th and final end. Alexa likewise is sitting down next to her coach, also getting advice. So we'll see if nerves play a factor for either of these competitors in the 5th end. Fortunate for them, unless something picks up quickly, the wind doesn't seem to be too much of a factor this entire match.
Yeah, very nice shooting conditions. Overcast and light wind.
So as we wait for the lines to clear and the competitors to approach. This match is going down to the wire. We've been very fortunate to have some good matches so far here today, both with the seniors earlier as well as both of our JOAD National matches so far this evening. A lot of good shooting, a lot of competition, a lot of back and forth. Savannah looks like she's ready to go, ready to jump back on the line. As they wait, Alexa still looks all business back there. Still yet to see her crack a smile.
Both looking extremely serious right now.
Savannah's coach seems to have backed off the line a little bit, giving her a little space, but still coaching. So we should be just about ready to go for the 5th and final end. And here we go, the 5th and final end for this round for the 1/8 round of the recurve Cub women. Savannah Ward in the gray, Alexa Claps in the red, tied 4-4. You see Savannah Ward on your screen right now.
Looks like she's going to shoot first once again.
It has been the pattern.
9 just out. And a 9.
Okay.
So tied up after the first arrow. An 8 for Savannah.
Okay, so and if form holds, Savannah will probably release her 3rd before Alexa her 2nd.
And she shoots a 10.
Okay, so Alexa lets her bow down, and she has her work cut out for her. She needs 18 to tie, 19 to advance.
And it's tough waiting like that because now you get the pressure on you. And she shoots a 6, so Savannah will win the match.
Okay, so Savannah will advance. Alexa still does have one more arrow to shoot. And it has been her pattern. Alexa lets go of the bow again.
And shoots a dead center X to finish it.
So she finished strong. Alexa can be proud of her performance. Really came down to that second arrow in the 5th end. Just really kept Alexa from forcing the 1 arrow shoot off. And the competitors are shaking hands, coaches, and they'll now approach the target to collect their arrows. And so Savannah will move on with the big smile on her face momentarily anyway.
Archers and judges on the field, don't worry about the handhelds. They are not working right now.
So we'll wait for Judge Mike Cullenber to make it official as he heads down towards the targets. And they're down there checking out the situation now. And here comes the ruling, and as Butch said, Mike Cullenber confirms Savannah Ward does indeed move on with the 6-4 victory in 5 ends. So she'll move on to the next round. Good shooting by both. Like I said, that second arrow in that 5th end just kind of seemed to do Alexa in. Savannah's first 2 ends that she won were very solid at 29 and 28. We'll just confirm a few things with Mike and then head on back.
Which I talked my way out of.
Yeah, my dad talked his way out of it.
Let's correct this story. Didn't even see her last night.
You know, I've been pulled over for speeding in my way 28 times already. This time I'm getting tickets I've gotten.
Okay, and as they finalize the scores and the competitors, we'll take a quick break here, and we'll be back shortly to the 2014 Easton JOAD Nationals in Joyce Park at Hamilton, Ohio. And welcome back to the 2014 Easton JOAD Nationals here at Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio. I am here with Savannah Ward, who just won her 1/8 round match for the recurve Cub women. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You did. You shot very well that first round. You shot 29. Excellent round. And then the next 2 rounds, you kind of got away from you a little bit.
Yeah.
What happened between that first and second round? Did something mentally happen to get you off your game? Was it the weight?
No. I think in the second end, she got more points than I did. That kind of threw me off a little bit.
Okay. And it looked, you were shooting very quickly every time. You always shot your first arrow before her, and then you shot your second and third before she shot her second every time. That seemed to be a strategy she was doing purposely. Do you prefer to shoot quickly all the time?
Yep. I'm a really quick shooter.
Yeah, is that so you don't have to think about it too much?
Yeah, I just like to get it over with. as soon
Okay.
as possible.
Okay, and that fourth end, you came back with another impressive score, 28. Before that fourth end, we saw what seemed to be a coach come up. Now, she wasn't there the first three ends, or we
Yeah.
just didn't see her?
No, she was standing behind like the flag things.
Okay. Okay, so she was there. She
Yeah.
just came out after the third end when you got down 4-2. Okay, because once we could see you conversing with her, it looked like she made a big difference. What kind of adjustments was she having you make?
She said that in the I think third and a few of my arrows went lower. So she told me that if they went lower, to look back at her and she'd do this, and that means move your sight lower.
Okay.
And so
So
what I did.
exactly what the coach is there for, right? Okay, well, good luck in the next round as
Thanks.
you'll move forward. Congratulations on your win, and we wish you the best of
you.
luck tonight. Thank you.
Thanks.
And so as we come to a close today from the 2014 Easton JOAD Nationals at Joyce Park in Hamilton, Ohio, we thank everybody for watching with us. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Axel Sights and Scopes, and we appreciate your viewership.